let's analyze this game with 1800 player.
Okay.
So you're black, and you play Slav defense. Good. Bishop g5. Okay, and this position there are two good moves. Of course, to capture on c4 is the main move in this position, but you can also play knight e4. There is that's some kind of a trap, because if knight takes, pawn takes, then white very often plays e3 and he blunders what?
Um, Queen a5.
Yeah, he blunders the bishop after this check. Okay, so knight e4 is one of the possible moves in this position, but d takes on c4 is the main move. Okay,
Oh,
e4, b5, right. Bishop e2. I don't think you need to play h6 in this position. So let's try to analyze it. So the knight attacks on e4.
yeah. I was trying to like somehow pressure it, but I didn't succeed quite well.
So to take the pawn on e4, what should you do?
Well, you need to like play. I think b4 actually works because
Yeah,
then the knight has to move away.
b4 works. The knight goes, and then you simply capture the pawn on e4.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I did now.
If, for example, he takes here with the bishop first, what would you do?
I would probably take the knight.
Yeah, exactly. You take the knight, the pawn on b2 is hanging, the bishop is hanging. So the bishop, for example, goes back, then you can capture here. Yeah. Then you can play c3, or you can give a check, taking the bishop at the same time. And after this move, c3. If bishop goes, then c2, winning a rook or a queen.
Oh.
So probably a queen, because after queen d2 you just simply capture here and promote another queen.
Okay.
So b4 was quite a good move. Another option for white to respond against b4 is to play e5. But that's the same thing.
Yeah, you just capture the knight.
Capture the knight, he captures your knight. Then how would you play?
I think capturing the pawn on f6 is a good idea.
Yeah, so
better. Yeah.
E takes on f6, and the pawn is hanging, the bishop is hanging, bishop c1 looks to be the only move. And then I think
you just capture the pawn, probably.
Yeah, it's okay to capture the pawn, or bishop b4 makes sense. You are threatening to capture on b2, and it looks like the only move is to play king f1. But that's okay, you can simply castle. Or you can play c2, queen takes, and you capture the central pawn.
Oh. Okay.
So in this position you are one pawn up, because the c4 pawn will be lost in this case. But I believe you're much better. Moreover, the king is on f1 now.
Yeah.
So if only you could play b4, if only you played b4 at this case, I believe you would win the game. So h6, and of course he captures. E takes on f6, f5. Yeah, I understand you wanna trade your double pawn, but
yeah, I just realized that like after I played f5, I just realized that you could play e5. So yeah, I didn't think it through well enough.
So I think you'd better develop your pieces, like bishop b7, And if a4, you can play bishop b4.
Mm.
So for example, castle, then a6 works. Then you castle, and just an extra pawn. So f5, e5, a6, castle, c5. Maybe it's too early to play c5. Yeah, it's too early.
Yeah.
At the same time, you allow him to promote the pawn to d5. I mean, to advance the pawn to d5, and these two pawns are very strong. Before you play this move, you can play like bishop e6 or bishop b7. Then you can occupy the d5 square with your knight, for example. Then you develop the bishop to e7, make a castle, and only after all this done, then you play c5.
Okay.
You see? So
yeah,
you shouldn't hurry in this position. c5. Yeah, because one more thing. Your pieces are not developed yet, and his pieces are developed. All of them are developed. So that's why if you open the position, it's better for the side who has already developed the pieces. So for white in this position.
Okay.
But if we evaluate this position as it is, I can say that you are better because of an extra pawn. Because the position is closed, he can't attack you, so you just play bishop e6 to block this central square. Then you play bishop e7, castle as soon as you can, and develop the knight.
Okay.
So yeah, looks like he can't do anything to prevent it. And after that, so the position will be much better for you because your pieces will your pieces would be developed, and you kept an extra pawn. Okay, c5, d5, bishop b7, d6. Okay, but
yeah, he's. I was trying my best to find a good move to defend it, but I concluded with the worst bad move.
yeah, the thing is that he gonna play this move, then knight c7, and that's really difficult to find what to do. Okay, you played knight c6, and after knight d5, I think the best way for you was to sacrifice the bishop, because you were one pawn up. Now you sacrifice the bishop for 2 pawns, so you have 3 pawns for a piece. Of course, white is better, but you still have any chances because in this position, knight c7 is a huge threat.
Okay.
So rook c2. So you're going to sacrifice the exchange after this move.
Yeah, probably.
Queen c2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
g6. Yeah, and after knight f6, you just realize that there are no squares for the king, and you have to sacrifice the queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, the position was really bad.
Yeah, I didn't know how to play against bishop f5. I meant to say g5. g5. Yeah.
But generally, you did everything well. So you won a pawn. So every on any move except e3 we can capture on c4. So if e3 we play e6, but if he plays any move like knight f3, bishop f4, we capture on c4, and for bishop g5, d takes on c4 also is a good move.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe if only you play b4 here, you could win the game.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, the next one. In this position again, you are playing for black, and that's Sicilian, Paulson variation, or Kan variation. c5, knight f3, e6, d4, a6, good. Bishop d3. Oh, I played a game in this variation.
Yeah, I see it pretty often.
You see it pretty often. So this line is called Polugayevsky variation. You should play bishop c5 immediately. Knight goes to b3 and bishop a7. The idea of this move is to keep the bishop on this diagonal to attack the f2 pawns. For example, then knight c3, knight c6. Queen g4. The pawn is hanging. Knight f6, we sacrifice the pawn. Queen goes to g3, then d6, knight e5, and so on. But if he captures the pawn, then rook g8, rook takes on g2. There is an attack on f2. So, for example, bishop g5 here, knight g4, queen g7, bishop captures here, knight 3. Everything is protected from black side. So if bishop captures, then white loses the queen. If, for example, king goes to e2, then bishop h4. That's a discovery check from the rook. King takes, and then probably queen b6 check. So king to, if king f3, then it's a checkmate on f2. So knight d4, I think. And then just simply take on g5 with the rook. So this position is much better for black.
Okay.
So just what you should remember. After bishop d3, you play bishop c5. If knight b3, bishop a7. And it's okay to allow queen g4 and allow him to take because on g7 because you play rook g8. If bishop e3 here, then just play d6 and protect the bishop. Okay? Okay, good. You played queen c7. Queen f3.
Yeah, I think this is the game where I was ahead by a few pieces. Yeah, probably.
Bishop f4.
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, definitely.
If d6. So
I think e5. Yeah, I should have played e5.
e5, bishop g3. How would you play then?
Probably queen b6.
There is a better move than queen b6.
Bishop. No, that doesn't work.
Okay, so your task is to move with the queen and to make a move with the tempo.
Yeah, I see. Queen A5. Check.
Queen a5 check. Yeah, and before doesn't work because you don't
Yeah.
capture with the queen, you take with the bishop. Then c3 doesn't work because you just take. So if king f1, then you capture here and you get an extra piece.
Okay.
So e5 was a better move. d6.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he played e5 himself. What? Why not to
I
take with
think
the
he went.
bishop?
Oh yeah, I did notice.
Yeah, because at the same time you develop the piece. So, and he can't
Oh
capture
yeah.
on e5 because queen e5 is a check. So he has no time to capture on b7. So for example,
Oh.
bishop g3, knight c6, and you have an extra piece, and all the pieces are developed except this bishop, but you can develop it on the next move.
Oh.
So he just blundered it, of course, I understand it, but it was better to capture this knight with a bishop, not with the pawn.
Okay.
Bishop e3, queen c6. The idea is to trade the queens.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Mm-hmm. So what are you afraid of?
I think um I was I was trying to like I was kind of out of moves.
Out of moves?
Yeah.
What about this move?
Oh.
No, if not this one, what about this move? With the idea to play b4?
Yeah, yeah. I was actually thinking of B5. I think I played it after.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe the idea was not to allow
Oh
him
yeah.
to play bishop
Yeah.
h6.
Yeah, that's the reason I remember it now.
Hmm. b5. Why didn't you capture?
Um
Because you are one piece up. It's better for you to trade.
yeah. I I don't know why I did capture. Yeah. Maybe I had a reason.
Because
No.
if you don't capture, then you lose. Then you blunder this move. Then 96.
Yeah.
So if only you can take, probably bishop takes. Then, like
Hmm.
for example, even this move, and then you can play knight d4, and to trade light squared bishops. g6 is a blunder, I think.
Mm.
Knight d4. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I think it was better to play bishop h5 to block this pawn, to
Oh.
avoid future complications.
Oh.
But you just blundered. You can't take because the knight is
Yeah.
pinned.
Yeah. I noticed that after I trade.
So what was the time left this at this move?
Um, I think I actually had quite some time. I didn't think about it, probably.
Mm.
Yeah, that was my mistake.
Instead of playing e5, you'd better try to get rid of the pin. For
Yeah.
example, king h6 or rook g7, king g8.
Oh.
Something like this. Or even rook f8, king g8.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh my god. And you blunder it on f6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah, I don't like how you play the end of this game.
Yeah.
You were quite good while playing the opening. Here you won a piece, but yeah, then you made so many mistakes and blunders. Okay,
Yeah.
let's analyze the last one. And again, you're playing for black. G3, C5.
Yeah. I think this guy was like messing around a bit. I
Uh,
think I also was ahead of him by quite some material
okay, so
and position.
okay, what can you say about a6 in this position?
It's kind of useless.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
maybe knight c6
Yeah, it would be a better move.
or even knight f6
Yeah.
because to stop the e4. So
Okay.
a6 is a useless move. Queen b6. What was the idea?
I just to like put a little more pressure on him.
On d4. But I think
Yeah.
knight c6 is a better move because you develop a minor piece. When you play queen b6, you develop your queen, but I'm not sure that this square is the best for the queen. Maybe,
Yeah.
moreover, I'm sure that you'd better keep the queen here and advance the b5 pawn later. For example, knight c6, d4. You can castle or play b5, bishop b7.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not obligatory for you to take here. So when we wait a second, when we in this position we have to take because we destroy one of the central pawns,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
at the same time, if we don't do this but play like this, then d5 can be played, and he occupies the center.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
this position, we don't, if you take, you don't destroy the central pawn. It's just a trade of the c pawns, you see.
Yeah.
Moreover, in this position he is not threatening to play d5, so there is
Mm.
the knight on f6, and there is no knight on c3, so it's difficult for to develop the pieces for him. But after you took, now the knight gets this square.
Okay.
So do you understand this strategical mistake?
Yeah, I do. So, he can develop a piece
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to before he couldn't.
So because this pawn structure change is better for you. You just capture with the bishop, that's a check. So, and you are quite good.
Okay.
a4. No, 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 no. Are you afraid of a5?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, I think I was because I wanted to keep my queen, kind of on the diagonal, like pinning the pawn to the king.
But if he plays a5, you have two defenders of this square. You can capture the pawn, you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a5 is not a threat.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
think you can just play d6 if you want, or like queen a7, queen c7, then b6.
Okay.
So a5 weakens the b5 square.
I think there was actually a reason why. Like, there was another reason why I wanted to play it, but I forgot why.
Okay, 3 d5. D5 seems to be a good move because you get control. You get control of the e4 square, but at the same time, d5 now shows that bishop is a real problem. It's difficult
Mm.
to develop this piece. Maybe, yeah, I think your idea to play a5 was wrong. So you'd better play queen a7 or even queen c7, b6, and bishop b7.
Okay.
a5, b3, bishop b4. I don't think that's a good move. You can activate now this knight, like knight e4, for example.
Mhm.
Anyway, you can play knight e4. Ah, you want to get rid of the knight on b5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here you did you blunder or did you calculate this line up to the end?
Um. I don't remember actually. I think I probably. Yeah, I don't remember.
So yeah, of course you'd better capture here, and you can just take this bishop, this knight on the next move. If queen e2,
Okay.
then rook a5, and you still win this pawn. The knight can't
Oh,
escape. All the squares are protected by your pieces. So, but in this
okay.
position, he can just simply take your bishop and you move the rook. He takes here, and he has two minor pieces for a rook. So you just miscalculated.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, but he took on f8. If only you can take this bishop on h3, then the material will be equal. Mm,
Oh. Oh yeah.
but you took the bishop and now you're down a piece. Oh my god, you miscalculated.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I actually miscalculated it. I thought I like calculated it fully, but I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, I remember this position now. Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't know how I miscalculated
but
this.
in this position, how to play? Rook a2 is a blunder, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Knight c3.
Of course, knight c3.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense to trade the pieces while you're one piece down.
Yeah.
No, it's a losing position.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think at the end I traded a. Yeah, he traded the bishop for knight.
Yeah, and you
Yeah, I was
blundered.
testing. Yeah, I was testing if he knew Pesum, because if he didn't, I would have just promoted it. But yeah,
Maybe
I had to make it.
it was the last chance
Yeah,
because the position is absolutely winning for white because of an extra knight.
yeah,
Okay, okay, good. No, actually, not so good. You could win this game too.
yeah.